In a quiet mountain village, there lived a girl named Lila. Every morning, she sat by the old train station, wearing a blue scarf and holding a yellow flower. The villagers whispered that she had waited there for years, waiting for someone who never returned. Yet she always smiled, gentle, hopeful, and kind. No one knew her full story, but everyone felt something when they saw her, a strange warmth and a quiet ache. Years ago, Lila had fallen in love with a young traveling artist named Kian. He painted the skies, sang to the wind, and dreamed of distant lands. On their last day together, he held her hands and said softly, "I need to go find who I truly am, but I promise I will return in 1 year. Wait for me." That promise rooted deep in her heart. From that day, every sunrise became a countdown. She dressed in the scarf he gave her and brought a yellow flower each morning, his favorite. At first, it was easy. People admired her devotion. A year felt like a moment when your heart is full of love. But then, the seasons changed and he did not return. As time wore on, the village began to notice. "She's still waiting?" Some murmured with pity, others with quiet awe. Rumors spread. Perhaps he left her. Maybe he died. She must be lost in a dream. But Lila never answered their questions. Instead, she greeted everyone with a gentle nod. She helped old vendors carry their baskets, taught children how to braid flowers, and whispered encouragement to those who felt forgotten. People began to realize this girl wasn't just waiting, she was present, fully alive. Somehow, her silent devotion created a space where others felt seen, heard, comforted. The station became a small sanctuary. Her waiting was no longer just hers. It belonged to the village. One misty afternoon, when clouds rolled low and wind curled through the trees, a traveler arrived at the station. He wore a worn coat and carried nothing but a satchel and tired eyes. He sat beside Lila, curious yet cautious. Minutes passed without words. Finally, he asked, "What are you waiting for?" Lila didn't turn her head. She simply said, "Someone who said he'd come back. I believe he still might." The man stared at her in disbelief. "After all this time?" She smiled faintly. "Time doesn't measure love. Faith does." Later that evening, he told the village elder, "I came here to disappear, but now I want to start again." That day, without knowing it, Lila had saved a soul. Day by day, people continued to visit her, not just to see if the train would come, but to feel something rare, peace. A young woman brought her broken heart and left with hope. A widower sat beside her and shared tears he hadn't cried in years. A lonely boy came to escape bullying and found courage in her stories. She never offered advice. She only listened, smiled, and waited with them. The villagers began to understand. Lila's love had transformed. It was no longer tied only to the man who left, but had blossomed into something bigger, compassion. Her waiting had become an anchor. While the world rushed on, she reminded them all that stillness could be sacred, and love, when true, could reach farther than even trains could travel. One day, a letter arrived at the station. The paper was worn, the ink faded. It was from Kian. He had been caught in war, lost in sickness, and had only recently found someone to write for him. "If you're still waiting, I will come, even if it's too late." Lila held the letter close. Her eyes welled with tears, not of sorrow, but of peace. That winter, the old train station rumbled to life. A single train arrived, unexpected, unplanned. A thin man stepped out, holding a yellow flower. Lila stood, her scarf fluttered in the wind. No words were spoken, just eyes meeting eyes. After all the years, time stood still, then moved gently forward. Some say it was a miracle, others say it was destiny. But everyone agrees, her waiting changed lives. The girl who waited did not just wait, she transformed sorrow into hope, and time into meaning. And perhaps that is the real magic of love. Not how fast it returns, but how deeply it remains. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Lotus Lantern Tales. There's a new story waiting for you every week.